Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation joining us here on Halftime. Mike, how you doing today? What's new?
Mike, I saw you on the TV yesterday. Are you all natural? Like, do you dye your hair? Is it all you?
Well, you trying to say that I'm trying to?
No, you look good. I was giving you a compliment. I was telling Phil you look good, but I was just wondering how that, because Ryan Day, I know that's Phil's boy, but he puts that 50 Shades of Grey in there or something.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. Different people have different attitudes about this. Why look old when you don't have to?
Fair enough.
Yeah, perfect. He asked me the question. I didn't know how to answer it, Mike. And then he asked the question, can you ask somebody that? But why not? Go for it.
We're buddies. Me and Mike are buddies. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't care one way or the other, but it's just an individual thing.
It is. We'll hook onto the Razorbacks here now. Let's talk basketball here first. We did a lot of baseball in the last segment. Beating Mizzou, Mike, what does it tell you about Arkansas that they could beat the team that might have been playing the best in the SEC outside of Auburn?
Yeah, that was big, and I didn't think they could do it. What they had to do to win that game was they had to score consistently. They couldn't have gaps. So what happens? All 5 starters score in double figures, and they don't have that period, maybe 9-10 minutes left in the game where the other team goes on a 9-0 run. That never happened. So those things were big. If you go back and look at that first Missouri game, that was when Arkansas dropped 0-5 in the SEC. And you look at the contrast between those two games. Everything that Arkansas did well to win this game, they didn't do well in that first game. And, Dennis Gates pointed that out. I think one of the biggest things that's not being talked about is Cal bringing that 1990 Final Four team in there.
You're right. I think you're
and
right.
having them connect with these guys, because apparently they all went in there. Todd Day and a bunch of them went in there, and they're basically saying, hey, you guys are Razorbacks. This is what we do. This is our history. You're a part of that. You got to go out and kick these guys' butts. This is a great game, big full arena. We got to do this. And Big Z and John L. Davis said that fired us up. So I think it was a stroke of genius. I think it helped. I think it helped with the fans. It kind of tied everything together. I just didn't think they had a shot at the NCAA tournament when they were 0-5. And even all along, I've kind of been, it's looking good, but it's not going to work. And they're still not there. When you start talking about what they have to do, nobody knows for sure. All these different things are different analytics. Are they the last? Are they in the last 4 in? One from the bottom, and last week they were at the bottom of the last 4 in, and they moved up. And Lenardi says this and that. I've just watched this enough, guys, that I know when they announce this field every year, there's always 1 or 2 teams that are going, what happened? And then there's others that get in that you didn't think they would. So nobody knows. I think if they want to win all 4 of their remaining games, that gets them 9-9. Yeah, that gets you in. But what's the other combination? I don't know. They just have to keep playing.
Hey, Mike, so it's kind of got Auburn kind of running away, I guess, 2-game lead. Who would be the second best team in the SEC in your opinion? Is it Florida? Is it Missouri? Is it Alabama? Who do you think the second best team in the conference is?
Yeah, I think it's Florida, but it's interesting. I don't think Missouri's getting enough respect. I don't think they're getting enough national respect. They are the only team that Florida's lost to at home this year. They've done some really good things. That's another reason why I didn't think Arkansas could beat them, was because Missouri has played so well on the road. They had a 1-point loss to Tennessee, I think 3 to A&M, and that's it. Missouri's impressive. But, so is Florida. I think Tennessee's a little bit inconsistent. I think Alabama's been inconsistent. But, guys, what's going to happen when they're not playing each other anymore? When this field gets set and however many's in there, 8, 7, 9, whatever, and they hit the field for the NCAA tournament, then what happens? How do they play? And I think they're going to play really well. I think the whole SEC is going to shock people.
I still think you win 2 of the next 4, you're going to be in. With the strength of the league and the strength of the schedule, as long as one of those losses is not at South Carolina, and a good thing that Carolina finally got their first SEC win, get that thing out of the way. Now Arkansas doesn't have that going in that game.
Do you kind of see this Arkansas-Texas game? Both teams are 5-9. Feel like this win you're probably a shoe-in to make the tournament if you win this game. Either team. If Texas beats Arkansas, that puts them at 6 because that's kind of who we're battling to try to get to 7.
Yeah, that's true.
That's big. That's big. I mean, both teams know what's at stake. And so Arkansas's got to play well in that game, and it's going to be the same way with Vanderbilt. They're kind of sitting in there battling with Vanderbilt, and you got to go to Vanderbilt. So those are 2 real key games.
I guess the game didn't pass Cal by, did it, Mike? Come on. Didn't that just sound like one of the most ridiculous, quote-unquote, narratives when they were given the chance to try to dig up a grave and pour dirt on him? The coaches that had a chance to be anonymous with Goodman took that opportunity to do it. Yeah. It doesn't look like the game passed him by.
Yeah, I thought that was phony from the beginning. You give a coach a free shot at another coach that he recruits against, and if he trusts you and says he won't out you, yeah, you're going to unload. Why wouldn't you? I mean, I don't think you should do it, but I'd still like to know who did that. But it's interesting. Again, there was a discussion when this whole thing was over after the Missouri game, and I'm reading one of these Facebook private things, I guess what they are. That it's not just your own personal Facebook; it's a group, and they're in there discussing what this really means. And somebody popped in there and talked about it didn't mean anything. Arkansas is going to be shocked because at the end you think you've got a shiny Cadillac and you're just going to have a broken down Volkswagen. And I'm thinking, this has got to be a Kentucky fan. I click on it, some Notre Dame fan. I'm going, what is this random nonsense? So I asked Jacob, who's a big Notre Dame fan of our staff. He's from Indiana. I said, what is this thing, random stuff against Cal? He said, you're going to find that all up in the northeast in that area. There are just some people up there for some reason that don't like him. And he can't explain it. I don't know. Maybe he had so much success and kind of dropped off a little bit, so you take shots at the guy. I don't know. I think he's done an amazing job. If you go back to what he was telling his players during that, when he was trying to get them back on track, and he was being very careful. It was more inspirational. Don't chew him out too much. Try to lift him up. And you look at where he's at now. One of the things he talked about after that game is they did a good job in the second half limiting Missouri's three-point shooting, but he went off on it. He said, don't come over here and tell me that you did your job because your hand was up. He said, having your hand up doesn't mean anything. I don't want the guy to see the rim. Don't come over and tell me on the bench because you screwed up. So he's putting pressure on these guys now. Now he's turning it on. And I just like was a very subtle thing that he did, kind of guiding them through all of this. And it's impressed me. I don't know how much it impresses anybody else, but I thought they were dead in the water. I didn't think anybody could pull this off. So maybe they have. We'll see.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here.